In other news tonight, tomorrow's the big day, the day the Supreme Court hears oral arguments in Gutierrez-Uggan's lawsuit to stay the inauguration of Governor-elect Eddie Calvo. Ultimately, this story is about two men, Carl Gutierrez and Calvo himself, fighting to lead the island for the next 4 years on the precipice of a paradigm-shifting $15 billion military buildup. Each of them believing they have what it takes to make the buildup work in the best interest of everyday citizens. Each also under tight deadline pressure to make their case at a time when the stakes could never be higher. But before any final determination is made on who deserves Guadalupe, the High Court must decide whether Calvo swears in 5 days from now or not. And as much might be expected, qualified experts are all seeing things differently. Here's more. An early church bell tolls, like an invitation for all to attend the inauguration of Guam's next governor 1 week from today. As tourists flock for shelter under a tent erected for the coming ceremony, its tarp now serving a more immediate purpose here on the grounds of the old Spanish Plaza. Perhaps ignorance is bliss when so much is at stake. If destiny meets their desire, then this is where Senators Eddie Baza Calvo and Ray Tenorio will take their oaths of office on January 3rd. Unless, of course, the Supreme Court decides to intervene, in which case they'll put the inauguration on hold until the justice system can decide whether or not the Election Commission was ever valid to begin with. All questions of commission authority aside, political analyst Ron McNinch believes the court will allow Calvo and Tenorio to swear in as scheduled on January 3rd.
If we're talking about having a good government and government continuity, you proceed as deliberately as possible and you make the transition as deliberately as possible. Otherwise, you end up having any backseat driver possible disrupting a very straightforward and Organic Act-based transition process.
You can't just decide, well, because it means an inauguration on Monday that I'm going to not do it, not make this hard decision. If it's the law, it's the law.
Gutierrez-Uggan are challenging all 7 Election Commission board members' validity on grounds that no record shows any of the 6 political members' current terms backed by a political party's resolution, as required by Title III of the Guam Code, thereby nullifying the peer selection of even the independent member. Former Supreme Court Justice Senator B.J. Cruz says if members aren't legally appointed, then their actions have no standing.
So it goes all the way back to the absolute root, and it's a scary thought. It's not something that I'm looking forward to, and I'm just not sure whether or not this court's strong enough to say, I hate to do this, but you're going to have to spend another $150,000 and go out and have another election in 2 weeks.
What's at stake if they don't?
What's at stake if they don't is the validity of the upcoming administration.
But until and unless the highest court of the land intervenes, the transition of power will proceed as scheduled. And as attorneys prepare for their court battle, the Calvo-Tenorio transition team moves ahead. This was the scene this afternoon at the Plaza de España. Workers erecting even more tents, planners pointing and directing, and all building momentum for the minute Eddie Calvo is sworn in as governor and Ray Tenorio as lieutenant governor on Monday, January 3rd. Calvo and Tenorio invite all island residents to attend their inaugural ceremony. Police will provide security for the event and will search oversized bags. Neither backpacks nor coolers are allowed at the ceremony. Due to the size of the event and the expected turnout, several roads will be closed and shuttle service will be available. Here is a map highlighting the Plaza de España and Skinner Plaza. Shuttle runs begin at noon, starting at the Hagatna Pool and the vacant Calten headquarters at the old Nissan Auto City. Accessible parking is available at Seaton Boulevard along Skinner Plaza. Shuttles will also transport those requiring special accommodations. The alcohol-free ceremony begins promptly at 4:30 at the Plaza de España. Again, all are welcome.